The following is a presentation of iRacing on PTR TV. We'd like to thank all of our channel partners for their support. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and we hope you enjoy today's broadcast. Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin is a small town of only about 1,000 or so people. A few times a year, however, that number grows exponentially. Being the host of what is deemed America's National Park of Speed, Road America has been a motorsports attraction since the 1950s. Hosting kart, IndyCar, Superbikes, sports cars, Trans Am, and as of late, the NASCAR Cup Series. All major series recognize the importance and fame of this 4-mile road course, as does the SCAR Radical Series. Tonight they'll be taking to famous Road America for 50 minutes of action in race number 6 of their Radical Series campaign in the SR8s. Welcome everybody to PTR TV for, indeed, the SCAR Radical Series at Road America on a Sunday night. Thank you for spending your time here with us. It's going to be myself, Corey Silva, as the one-man show, both in the booth and doing the production stuff down and giving you the images on your screen. So right now we are currently in qualifying right now. These guys are finishing up their qualifying laps here at Road America. Have a very healthy field here this evening, which is great to see. We have had a couple issues over the course of the season with attendance dropping just a little bit, but a good healthy field of guys have come to take time here tonight at Road America, and we are happy to see that. As you can see, we have 27 seconds left in the session. Then we do have the cool down session where they do have the chance to finish their last laps. And a big factor here at Road America, as we all know, is the fact that it is a very long track. You kind of saw in the opening graphic the track layout here. It is a 4-mile long course with significant straightaways, about 3 major straightaways here. And in these Radical SR8s, drafting is going to be absolutely paramount. So even on your qualifying lap, you want to have some kind of form of slipstream. As right now we're watching on screen, the 89 of Brian Rose. He is right behind the number 12 machine of Earl Lateral. Unfortunately for him, that did not work out, so that lap will go by the wayside. But that is going to definitely make things a little bit easier. If you have a bad corner, you may be able to make up any lost time just with the slipstream. It's about a second or so slipstream range that, in my experience here, in the Radical SR8. Of course, the new Radical SR10 is now available, but this is a free car on the series. So if you are interested in joining these guys on their bi-weekly campaign, you can always reach out, leave a YouTube message, or reach out to us directly, and we can get you in the right direction. But this is race number 6. We had a 3-week hiatus due to my own personal holiday, of course, 4th of July, and the natural bi-weekly status of how this series operates. So as it stands right now, our point standings, Zach Millett is our points leader with 80 points. Steve Singer in second, David Tamira in third. But the most important thing to know is that we do have the win penalties. That is kind of a dynamic put in place to kind of make sure that there's no drivers that take command of the series in an unfun manner. But our timer for qualifying has elapsed rather quickly as everybody was finished with their laps. So we're going to cut this music and change to our grid music and go down trackside and give you the starting lineup here today from Road America. On tonight's poll with a lap time of 2 minutes, 0.787 seconds, Andrew Locke. Congratulations to him on that quick lap time. With David Tamira, nearly had a win a few weeks ago. We'll see if he can get it done here tonight. He's going to roll off in second. Brian Rose in third. Neil Quick, his name is accurate. He had a quick time. He'll roll off in the 4th spot. In position number 5, we're going to find Jason Duckworth, Dakota Anderson in 6th, Vincent Short in 7th. Earl Lateral is going to be in 8th. And then rolling off in the 9th position, we have Kevin Blue and then Carson Conway in the 10th spot. I'm going to find a good camera angle here for what they are on track. Sorry for that. Brad Allison is going to be in 11th spot. There we go. Quick in 12th. Zach Millett, he is the one who's severely tarnished with the win penalty after his amazing season. He's going to be 13th. Steve Singer has a minor penalty as well, 14th. James Vance, the most recent winner at Mid-Ohio, 15th. Jason Nethery, 16th. And then rounding out our grid, Mark Truxell, Eddie Rose, and Britt Osborne. 19 guys here as we've been holding roughly 8 or 9. So very good grid here tonight. Happy to see the series getting the love it deserves, because these guys do have some fun here on Sunday nights. Very close to the end of the lap here already, so we're not going to have too much time to go over anything here, because look at, we're already on the last corner, so the pace car is going to pull off immediately. We're just going to have to give you some information as the race does progress. But coming up the hill here at Road America, coming to the flag stand, Barney has it in hand. The green flag is ready to wave. We're waiting. Andrew Locke in command. The flag is waving. We're racing here at Road America. We head down into corner number 1 here. Everybody fanning out a very narrow track here at Elkhart Lake. And oh no, we already have somebody flipping and off into the kitty litter there. Trying to figure out who that is. That's actually going to be Brad Allison in the number 03 machine. We'll quickly try to see what happened. We do have fast repairs available, so if he does feel as though he can use that. Somebody there, oh my goodness, who was that just absolutely did not use the brake pedal at all? Terrible course of events there, but back to live action. Andrew Locke has managed to get that lead and hang on to it by about a second already. David Tamira already at the verge of going out of slipstream range, trying to figure out who that was. That was actually James Vance. Now, we never want to overly place judgment as to what may have happened, but could be technical issues, not quite sure. We already have a safety car. That is a new thing for us. I'm not sure if they are going to reset if something did happen. But we are under a safety car. You can see here on the ticker that the caution has been waived. So, of course, here at Road America, it is a humongously long lap, 2 minutes. So these guys are not able to pass under yellow, but they are trying to work up to the leader, or rather to the pace car, which is probably going to be staged somewhere around turn 2 or 3, if it's even left the pits yet. So I'd have to imagine that it is due to the fact that that did happen, or maybe there was something else going on. But here we go up the hill. And we will complete lap number 1 here under the yellow flag. We do know that yellow flags here, if you watch the NASCAR Cup Series race here last week, if you're watching this live, that cautions do take enormously long here. So this will probably take up a fair portion of this 50-minute race. We don't have a competition caution to speak of, but we do have the 50-minute race that was scheduled to go green flag, but this will probably take at least 5 minutes of it. Actually, even more than that. This may take even 10 minutes of it. It's 2 minutes a lap as it is under caution speed. I'd have to imagine these are about 5-minute laps, and I can only imagine at bare minimum 2. So this is going to be a significant portion of the race. We're going to go ahead and see if I can pull down our admin and try to just figure out what's going on here. All right, Steve, you got a copy? I'm gonna grab you and come back. For some reason, my audio is not working. 1 second. I know you can hear me, but if you could just say something, Steve, I was trying to figure out if I can hear you.
Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2.
There we go. My Discord was acting. I'm just trying to figure out. I saw that incident on lap number 1. I know we're not cued to have a caution, but just from the horse's mouth as admin, just trying to figure out what we have going on right now.
So typically we don't throw yellows with incidents. As far as if we get something big on the opening lap, we will throw it as a kind of a botched start, kind of give everybody an opportunity to get recollected, but that's where we're at.
All right, my friend. Well, good luck. I just wanted to get that clarification. Good luck, and we'll see what happens in the rest of the race.
10-4. Thanks.
Yep, so it's kind of right there. So they are going to use that that incident as an opportunity to reset, and it will give Allison the opportunity to use that free fast repair that he does have available to him. And you can see that why so serious. Interesting ride there. Something happened to Carson Conway. Spun under pacing. See what happened to him under pacing. I think he was just trying so hard to catch up. And yeah, he just looped it. Headed there into Hurry Downs, that segment of the track is called. So probably didn't want me to get that on the broadcast. Sorry, Carson, I had to do it. But this does give me a little bit more time to allow us to discuss the win penalties that were under effect here. So as I kind of said at the end of qualifying, we do have the win penalties in place. It's a series designed to kind of get people's feet wet that are more oval oriented. It's a starter car in the iRacing series, not too hard to drive. It's more designed to get people their feet wet into road racing. That's what the series is. So they didn't want to have a guy just kind of run off and win 10 races just because he's more incline into that side of the service. So basically what it does is if you win a lot of races, you're going to have to fight really hard for your positions, and it'll allow other guys to be on the top of the podium and to get their opportunity to shine. So that being said, James Vance with his win at Mid-Ohio had the easiest of the penalties. Actually his penalty will be similar, if the same, to Steve Singer. Singer won at Watkins Glen. Both of them could not qualify and got sent to the rear of the field. So that's something that they can, they have an opportunity to overcome. However, Zach Millett, who has been essentially the dominator this season, he was not allowed to qualify, and he was going to start at the rear, as well as get a additional stop and go penalty at the end of the first green flag lap. So whether that is still on the table, I would imagine it would be, but again, he has just been so lightning quick. Kind of the road ringer gives other people their opportunities to learn from different parts of the field, and we've definitely seen that, because we've seen David Tamira. He had a fabulous run at Loudon Road Course just a few weeks ago. Oh, I guess at this point it might have been a couple months ago if in the grand scheme of things. But Millett, even though he started last at that race with a slightly lesser penalty at the time, he was still able to come from a significant deficit and work his way up to the lead. So, and he managed to pass Tamir at the very end. So, with Millett being out of it, effectively, I cannot fathom a way that Millett's going to win another race. The final race of the season is one that the penalty does not stand for. So that will be interesting to see, indeed, how it plays out at that race, as the championship will be on the line. But in the meantime, we'll see if anybody else is able to take it to victory lane. Now, this race originally was supposed to be held at the Atlanta Motor Speedway Roval. Of course, Atlanta just got reconfigured, the oval version, but the road course, very bumpy, has not been repaved virtually yet. They made a last-second call to switch it to a more commonly known track that offers some good racing and kind of gets people motivated to try it out. So that's why we are here this week. Our next race, we are actually due for a back-to-back, so we will be live next week as well at Sonoma, the Cup version, which is the new Cup version, which was the old Cup version, the one with the chute rather than the carousel, I believe. They change the name of it all the time in iRacing, so I believe that's what we're on the docket for. But the lights are out on the pace car. So we did luckily only lose about 2 laps due to that restart. So everybody should be single file for this, so that should alleviate some of the congestion that we saw. And essentially this 50-minute race will turn into about a 39-minute race. Again, no competition caution, so we will be running straight to the checkers. But here we come off of the final corner, getting ready for the action here at Road America. We're going to try it again. We'll see how it goes, except this time we're going to be single file. Should make it a little bit easier. Waiting for the flagman to get this underway for a second time this evening. And there he goes. We're going to try it again here at Road America. We'll see if we saw a car flipping the last time by. We'll hope that's a little bit cleaner through this time. We see some cones, we see some smoke, but so far everybody is within normal orientation, if we'll say it in that awkward sense. Oh no, we do have somebody going off. Who's that? That's Steve Singer. Oh no, I think that's Steve Singer. No, I'm mistaken. That's Earl Lateral in the 12 machine. Let's try to see what happened to Earl. Replay queued on the screen. So he headed down into 3. I think he got, yep, he got the left side in the grass, lost control of the car, and then ended up taking out Dakota Anderson as well. So kind of an unfortunate turn of events there. That grass, of course, very slippery and can definitely do that. So you really have to watch those tires on entry. You want to start as wide as you can, but of course you can't go too wide because that kind of thing will happen. Now heading down Kettle Bottoms now into the famous Canada corner here. Battle for second is shaping up right now. It is a matter of David Tamira and Brian Rose with Jason Duckworth just behind that. That's going to be second, third, and fourth. Their biggest goal at this point is going to be to keep in the slipstream range, and I'm not quite sure if Rose is in slipstream range of Tamira here, as we do have a pit stop on the front straightaway. That is Zach Millett. That is him getting his win penalty issued to him. So he's going to go into the pits. We'll see where he does shake out at the end of that. Duckworth did take a look to the inside of Rose, but Rose was able to persevere and hang on to it for the time being. Big gap back to 5th. That's Kevin Blue in the Marlboro number 54 ride. Vincent Short. Short's had a couple good runs this season as well. Hasn't had winning speed, but has definitely had top 3 speed at a couple of races this season, and it is definitely getting more exciting up front right now. That's Tamira closing in into hurry downs, which is essentially 6 through 9 here at Road America, heading into the famous carousel after this left-hander, or rather this, well, it is a left-hander. I had to get my orientation correct there. Heading underneath the Speedville Bridge and now into the famous carousel. It feels like it's never going to end. There's many different approaches here. Do you hug the inside the entire time? Do you drift it out super wide and try to do like a double apex, then into the kink, which in this car I'm not quite sure if it's flat out. I think it's very close to it if it's not. You know, on board with Tamira right now. Into Canada corner, one of the heaviest braking zones on the racetrack, and oh no, Locke's going to go wide, and he's going to go off into the kitty litter, I do believe, and that cost him the lead. He was able to keep control of the vehicle, but he's going to lose that time to Tamira. Now he's going to fall back potentially out of slipstream range here, but oh, but who is that? That was Kevin Blue. He's going to go agricultural maintenancing off of the final corner here, up, and then have to go up the hill. If you mess up that final corner, it's absolutely terrible for your momentum. So you really want to do the best you can to maintain that momentum on corner exits. As we come down the back straightaway, or rather the turn 4 mid straightaway here. It's kind of hard to dictate which straightaway is which here at Road America, so kind of make up names as we go here to turn number 5, and up the bridge here, up the bridge under the Corvette bridge, and this is the slowest portion of the track, the most technical portion of the track, where if the guy who does the best job of saving his tires is going to be the one that is better off in this segment of the track. It requires the most amount of finesse. And then, as we just spoke about a lap earlier, going through the carousel, Steve Singer closing in on Vincent Short. That's going to be a battle for the 5th position. Singer is 7 seconds behind, so remember he did have to start at the rear. In a little bit, we'll take a look at lap times and try to get a gander as to what he is going to be able to do. You see 7 seconds is a long time, but depending where it is, what you've run, you may still be able to eat that up. We will have a pit stop, remember, as in our race details here. We have a 50-minute race, 50% fuel. We didn't discuss that, and we already did discuss in length about the wind penalties that are available and on the docket for the appropriate drivers here this evening. Singer's going to get right to that back bumper, and here he's going to go underneath the bridge here and up down the flag stand. Going to go side by side, and at the stripe that will go to Singer. Is Short going to back off, or is he going to contest it on the braking zone entering 1? He is going to allow him to go, and Singer will set his sights on Brian Rose, but there is 5 seconds to eat up before that does become a active battle. Back to the front here, and we'll, as I did say, we'll switch over our ticker and let you know the lap times. Last time by, Locke over a second faster, or nearly a second, 7/10 faster than Tamira, likely due to the slipstream. Sorry for the little double stamping on the bottom there. We'll get that sorted out. But the lap times definitely vary from lap to lap because of the slipstream. Now, if Locke is able to get closer on a certain straightaway, he's going to get that massive pull, and that's going to drag him in. And then just behind that, we do have a battle. It's 3 seconds behind the battle up front for the lead, but 3rd and 4th, Rose is within slipstream range of Duckworth, coming through the kink down Kettle Bottoms into Canada Corner. He's within half a second. We'll see how aggressive he wants to be on the binders into Canada Corner. He's going to be very aggressive on the binders. Didn't lock it up. Very nice job there. Keeps the gap. If anything, gains a little bit of time. Up the hill here to complete another lap. If you do hear some dead spots, I am trying to listen and monitor live audio here and making sure it's as good as I can. I want to make sure there's a good mix of engine sounds and my voice, so if you hear some dead spots, that's just me monitoring audio in the background. Whoa, big lock up there by Britt Osborne trying to get by Brad Allison. Remember, Allison was the one that was the most upset by that opening incident. But it will give up that spot. Zach Millett, we saw him peel off for his penalty on that first lap, and he is 30 seconds off of the lead now, and of course no cautions, barring a massive incident. No cautions will be available to help him out, but we'll see what he's able to gain on natural pace and through circumstance. James Vance is out of the race. We didn't quite see what happened to him last race's winner at Mid-Ohio. We didn't see what happened to him, but unfortunately he has already relinquished his position in tonight's efforts. Two closest battles on the racetrack are the ones up at the front of your field here. They are separating by about 5 seconds. So we aren't going to have a four-way battle for the lead, but we are going to have two separate battles of two here. It's our cameras here. You can see some interesting shots here. These cameras are brought to you by Whiplash Sim Cams. So if you're interested in that, leave a message in our chat and we can help you get situated with some of these great shots that are available to us. But coming through, completing another lap here and coming up the hill. Duckworth enjoying what is about 0.4 of a second over Rose. So we'll just see here. We'll keep on this rear spoiler cam with Duckworth and to see how much slipstream is available. Really, at least that time by, only about 1/10 was gained. A little bit on the braking. I do think Rose is a little bit deeper on the brakes. But we'll take one more look at it. And we'll switch perspectives here and we'll take a look from Brian Rose. See, going into 5th gear here. We'll bring up his telemetry stats at the bottom. 150, 155 miles per hour. 6th gear, nearly 160 on the binders into 5 and 6. They will have to deal with that slower machine. Trying to make out who that is. Oh, that was Jason Nethery, who went wide there. Nethery had a couple great runs earlier this season. Unfortunately, Road America, clearly not his cup of tea this evening in the number 34. See, top of the hill there. Just got loose. I can say that this track does have that tendency, especially at the top of that hill. You're at the top of a hill, and then you're also trying to turn the car and brake at the same time. So it's very easy for the car to get super light there, and very easy to do exactly what Nethery just did. So now he will be last car on the standings, last car that is currently running in the 16th spot. Battle going on for the 10th spot. That's Brad Allison working his way into the top 10, getting by Britt Osborne and some new names. Rather, Britt Osborne, a new name. I think Allison. We've seen Allison turn some laps in this series before. Heading down, completing another lap. Lap number 10. We're due for about 25. At least that's what my telemetry is saying. We have 27 minutes left in the race at about 2 minutes a pop. Divide that by 2, it's about 14, 15 more laps. Remember, we do have a pit stop that will throw things off. So roughly looking at about 14 more times around Road America. Again, no cautions to slow us down. So we will be completely under green flag conditions for all this. Cook Quick next on the chopping block to go down a lap. He's going to go super wide there, and again, a lot of undulations there on the runoff, but he's going to do the best he can to get out of the way. So that'll leave 15 drivers on our lead lap. Tamira, it's hard to tell right now what Tamira's plan is, because if he even has a plan. Last time by, Locke was roughly a second faster, but this is where it's very hard to tell who has what pace, because at these slipstream tracks, you could be significantly better through every single corner than another driver. But just if he can manage to get through a couple corners well and get himself off of the corners and stay in that slipstream range, nothing that you do is going to be good enough to break that draft. And even if Tamira is about 0.2 slower at every corner exit, as long as he can keep that gap within roughly a second, he's going to be able to use that toe. See, he was about on the left side of your display, the live intervals. He was roughly 0.8 back, got himself to 0.6 back, and then he gets through turn 1 pretty well. And For some reason, this little minute sweep in between in between this and this corner counts as a corner. So that's actually turn number 3. But he got off those corners very well, and here he is resetting, and you can just see that gap just absolutely decimating down the moraine sweep into turn number 5. He's going to get hard on the binders, break that gap down to 1-2 car lengths. Definitely seems like Tamira is better on the binders and getting through the fast braking zones, but this technical section all the way up till the end of the carousel, I do want to give the advantage to Locke. You can see here 4/10 of a second back up to about 7/10 of a second. So if Tamira is gonna figure something out, he's gonna need to find a way to get through these slower bits just a little bit better, particularly this carousel. It just seems like Locke is just really starting to pull the paces and figure something out, but this is the longest portion, the longest straightaway on the track. I mean, it's not necessarily straight, but it's pretty much the fastest portion of the track. And look at Tamira, just takes that 7/10 and takes it down to 5/10, and he's going to use his good braking skills and maintain that gap. You can see these guys are pulled away by quite a bit over third place, and now this is probably the closest he's been in quite some time coming off of the final corner, within 7/10 of a second. So now he's going to use that draft, probably get himself as close as he's been yet. And if he can have a good turns 1, 2, and 3, he'll be able to use that speed down the mid stretch here, if we'll call it such a term, and maybe have a good shot entering 5. We'll see what commences under the Arians Bridge and into one of the most important corners on the track, turn number 3. He's within that half second. Yeah, this is going to be a really good opportunity for Tamira. You can see 4/10 of a second. Now he's within 3/10 of a second. And how is he going to be on the binders? He's going to take a look to the inside, just kind of peeking and letting Locke know that he's there. But this is where Locke is able to show his pace. This is where he's able to let him know that, hey, you got me on the brakes, you got me on the draft, but I got you in the tough parts of the track. And if Tamira is able to figure this out, then we're really going to have a ball game on our hands. But for the time being, Locke's just able to get through this bit just that much better. But we'll see what does happen between this, after pit stops, get a heat cycle on these tires. A lot can change, but keep an eye on this and check out some other things going on the racetrack right now. Zach Millett in the 315, working his way to try to get as much track position as possible. He's not gaining on the overall lead, but he is picking the spots off one by one, closing in on Vincent Short, and just using what we see as realistic goals here. I would say Millett could probably get up to 6th, and I'm almost certain that he will. I don't think he's going to get any higher than that, given, rather, unless that there's some kind of incident to take some guys out of commission. And here he's going to dive off into, I believe that was Canada Corner. I thought he was going to take a serious dive onto Short, but did choose to be a little bit more cautious. Not the best place to pass there. We're in Thunder Alley into the Bill Mitchell Bend, leading into 14. Don't want to usually pass in that little sector, not usually advised. I did think better of it, but coming to the top of the hill here, and I think he'll have the slipstream, he'll have the mow that he needs, and we'll see if he takes the dive. Will Short play defensive? He is not going to play defensive. He is going to facilitate the pass, as he's been doing, just being realistic with his pace and what he knows that his car is capable of, and move Zach up to 7th. And no, Short's not done yet. I think Millett kind of missed his marks there. That opened the door for Short. Short's gonna try something here. Millett's gonna take the defensive line down the moraine sweep, down the mid stretch here, the back stretch, whatever we want to call it, And he's going to have to use the defensive braking zone defensive entry for Millet, and that's very hard to hold that line. Short's going to go super wide off into the runoff, going to go side by side up the hill into the Corvette bridge. Short may try to do a crossover, but now I think Millet's just going to use his pace. And he has a car length in the bank. I think he's just going to add more to it. We'll quickly go through oh, what's going on here? Somebody has a little loop. That's Carson Conway. Again, remember he had a loop under our pacing conditions. We'll go quickly on replay, see what happened to him. And it's the same exact thing that happened to him under pacing. He just got the, he got two wheels into the dirt on corner entry. No harm, no foul, soft spin. But nonetheless, another spin indeed. Back to live action, and as you can see on our display here, I'm not sure if there was some mistakes, or if Locke's just showing his pace, but Tamira is now out of slipstream range and is starting to drop rather quickly here. We talked about how easy it is to, you know, essentially, no matter how fast you are, how easy it is to, you know, basically not be able to shake somebody who's even a tenth to 3/10 a lap slower than you are. The draft has its ways of just kind of masking, you know, a couple tenths of a second per lap. But once you're able to break that bubble, essentially you know, you're really going to show what your pace is. And now Tamira still has, you know, great pace for second place. But again, looking at the lap times here on the display, you can see his last lap time would put him essentially fifth on the pylon right now. So Tamira is going to be looking at his relative screen and looking at his, you know, telemetries that he has available, because he is potentially losing in a second a lap. He does have that opportunity to lose a bunch of time, so we'll have to see if he does fall into the clutches of anybody else. Rose and Duckworth still can't manage to shake each other. Whether Rose is kind of doing what Tamira did and just kind of staying in the slipstream range, or whether they are just genuinely similar pace, not quite sure. What I can say is that Zach Millet is within a second of closing it on Neil Quick, getting himself into that sixth spot. But while that's going on, let's just do a very brief through the field. Actually, we're going to cut that off because I think we're going to have a battle here. This is the closest these guys have been to each other. Oh no! That's Duckworth going wide off of 3. No harm, no foul. He's not going to get any damage, but I'm not sure if the rear tires are getting lit up by some of these guys, but definitely a lot of spins, self spins commencing here at Road America these last few laps. He just missed the corner. He missed his line there, got wide, maybe got some marbles on the tires or what have you, but went wide, and that will kill that battle, because now Duckworth has lost the spot to Rose, but also lost the spot to Singer. Singer's actually running some quick times. He's only a second and a half behind Rose. May have the opportunity to get himself in that third spot. Tamira is still far enough up now that I'm not sure that will be a position for attaining, but before anything else happens, let me go ahead and do a brief through the field. Up front as our leader, started first, currently running first, Andrew Locke. In second, David Tamira. Now that he's lost the draft, he's hanging on roughly 2.5 seconds, 3 seconds off. Brian Rose just inherited that third spot. Steve Singer is trying to get that third spot, but he's currently running in fourth. Duckworth, after that spin, drops back to fifth. Zach Millet gonna run in the sixth spot, trying to see what he can do after his win penalty. Neil Quick running in seventh. Vincent Short running in eighth. Mark Truxell in the ninth spot, and then running out our top 10 is Brad Allison. Britt Osborne, as we catch him in the kitty litter, he is currently running in 11th. Jason Nethery in 12th. Carson Conway, multiple spins on our through the field here, in 13th. And the only other active guy on track is in 15th spot of Earl Lateral. He should take over 14th as Kevin Blue, Cook Quick, Dakota Anderson, and James Vance are out of tonight's efforts. Yeah, Lateral just did take the spot from Blue. Not sure what happened to Blue. Didn't really see anything, but he definitely did retire a few laps ago. So currently have 10 guys on the lead lap. I don't think Allison will lose a lap unless he has a spin. He's currently 1 minute 10 seconds. 1 minute 13 seconds rather off of our lead. 2 minute laps. I don't think he'll lose that much time in 15 minutes. I'm going to take a brief side-by-side break just to rest my voice. We'll cut away for pit stops if they come up, but stay with us. Just be about a 1 minute break. Back here on PTR TV, just had to take a quick little minute to just gather my vocals for the next and final 12 minutes of the race. Saw there on the side-by-side, Steve Singer did manage to get himself into a podium position and pass Brian Rose. Rose will try to hang on in slipstream range if it is possible for him. But so far, with Millet running in 6th and potentially stalled out. I mean, there's a real off chance that he can get 5th unless Duckworth does another self-spin, which he did just do, or if pit stops go awry. Don't really see him getting another spot, but this will be a good point stay. 26 point, rather a 22 point lead that Singer, that Millet has over Singer. So any amount that could be eaten into that will of course be a favorable experience. So Rose dropping out of that slipstream range so far. Still waiting on pit stops. Didn't really get a cue on when they would happen. I mean, for all I know that you know, maybe that yellow ended up saving enough fuel. I wouldn't think it would, but we're still waiting on it. Maybe these guys are waiting to the last possible moment. Don't see anybody currently by the pits to test that out. Coming up the Corvette Bridge here, coming up in 2, 6, and 7 is Locke, holding about a 3-second lead. Now, Tamira was dropping off quite rapidly in the very beginning. It has stabilized out at about 3 seconds. Lap times, actually the fastest lap of the race I believe, just ran by Locke. Did manage to get himself into the 1 minute bracket. See on the screen right now his best lap, a 1 minute 59. So as that fuel is burning, tires are at optimal temp. Clearly they're not degrading at all. So he's managing to run some fabulous lap times right now. Of course, if you are watching this and you have not subscribed to PTR TV, would highly appreciate if you would tap those 2 buttons below this video, the subscription and notification bell. We do have some new content in the works here, and we have our goal to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of summer, where it's kind of a stretch goal, but if we do, we're going to be giving away $100 in prizes to a lucky viewer amongst some admin prizes. And I believe I saw on the long shot there that Tamira, and there he is into the pits. Now, what's going to be very interesting here, this may help him or hurt him gain some of that lap time back. And here comes Brian Rose as well. What's he going to do for strategy? How much fuel is he going to put in? If you put too much in, that's more time wasted on the racetrack. If you don't put enough in, of course, that's a completely worse problem to have. So we'll see how much he does put in and where this shakes out. I have to imagine Locke will be in this time or next. Of course, we're not going to have the tire wear situation that you typically see on ovals or even on certain road combinations with significant tire wear, where sometimes staying out that extra lap can lose you a lot of time under the green flag conditions. You can see guys gain 2 or 3 seconds just by pitting 1 lap earlier. We're not going to have that happen here tonight, just due to the lack of fall off that we're seeing. Of course, running our best lap times 42 minutes into the race. Tamira was running about 3 seconds back. As you can see on the left side of your display on the ticker, currently running 43 seconds back. So he spent 14 seconds in his pit box. I can tell you that Steve Singer, actually, let me try to make sure. Nope, he pit under the caution, so that's a little bit different. Still waiting for somebody else. Actually, here he comes. Here comes Locke into the pits. Now, Tamira took 14 seconds of fuel, and it seems to be, from those who have already pitted, that seems to be the general consensus, is right around 13-14 seconds of fuel. Is Locke going to take a comparable amount? And then we'll also compare how long he's been in the pits for. Tamira had a 45.7 second pit lane time from cone to cone, including a stop. If Locke is able to have a comparable or faster time, of course, that'll keep his lead. Nice smooth entry into his pit stall. We're currently just waiting on the timer and waiting to see how long he is going to be in the pits. He's going to have a shorter pit stop, 12.9, and he had a second faster stop and a second faster in the pits overall, so he is going to gain on his advantage most certainly over Tamira. You can see here that he didn't actually gain that much in hindsight. He only really gained a half second. The times would have indicated he would have gained more, but in hindsight he only really gained 0.3 of a second. So interesting how that works out. Steve Singer has completed his pit stop as well. He took 11 seconds of fuel, and he only was in the pits for 42 seconds. That actually gained him quite a bit of time, within 9 seconds of your overall leader. It's not going to be enough in the grand scheme of things. Still waiting on Neil Quick to come down pit road. Everybody else has up front. Actually, Brad Allison as well, still waiting for his pit stop with 5 minutes to go. Just about 2 to 3 laps of action, depending on exactly, probably closer to 3 laps of action, depending how the lap times complete themselves. So for Andrew Locke, he just has to run a nice smooth few laps, no pressure, no reason to overdo it. You have enough of a lead. You're actually growing the lead. Now it's upwards of 4 seconds. So no pressure. Just do a comfortable pace. Now, if he does manage to pull this off when we go to Sonoma next week, he's going to have that EOL. So he's going to start end of line. So given we had an 18 car field here today, so that could be in the realm of 15th to 18th, you know, with the penalties issued to other drivers who've won this season. Then we will take a week off and head to Gateway at the end of July. And then we will head bi-weekly to the Texas road course, which I'm going to say that very tentatively that I will wait for confirmation on that, because I know the Texas road course is kind of similar to the Atlanta road course in terms of how bumpy it is. So if that was a problem, Texas may be one to wait for confirmation on, but we'll head back to Watkins Glen, Homestead, and Homestead Roval, which is a very, very fun layout. I really like that combination. And ending the season at Charlotte Roval in late September. This is our 50% way through our season, and currently this, if everything stands true, we'll have our 4th winner, but of course you don't want to count your ducks too early. Not really too much in the way of battling going on. Neil Quick is he has the closest proximity to another vehicle right now. It's Brian Rose, and just as I say that, commentators curse. As soon as I say that Neil Quick is relatively close to another driver, he goes wide. He was about a second off of Brian Rose. Could have potentially been a battle, but that battle has instantly phased because, well, you know, I had him on camera, so that's usually how that does shake out. I do want to give Steve Singer a bunch of credit here. And the reason I do that is because he has gained a ton of time. On track alone, at least from what I remember earlier in the race, he's gained at least 4 seconds. So if he did have the opportunity to start within a similar proximity, you know, without the penalty, I think he would, on pure pace alone, have the fastest car here tonight, or one of them. Millett really hasn't gained any time on track. I followed him at about 30 seconds earlier in the race, and he's still at about 33, 34, so he really hasn't done much in that capacity. But Steve Singer last time by, again, just talking to his points of speed, a 1 minute 59.7 for Singer, so a fantastic lap there. So he definitely has the pace. I mean, there's about what should be we're on 2 to go right now, because when we get to the stripe, we're going to be less than probably about 45 seconds to a minute, I'd imagine, when we get to the stripe. And because of that, that will prompt the last lap of the race, the white flag, to wave, because the time will elapse during the next time around. So I don't think Singer's going to get 4 seconds, 3.5 seconds to close into Tamira. So Tamira will have another second place finish on his resume this season. I know he's going to look forward to having those runs, but at the same time, you have to imagine he's going to really start wanting just that little extra bit to start getting a shot at a victory. But coming through and completing, just about to complete one more lap here, coming through the Bill Mitchell bend and into 14 comes Andrew Locke up the hill for the penultimate time, and Barney's going to get that white flag in hand, and he's going to start waving it one more time around the 4 miles of Elkhart Lake. Andrew Locke he started on the front row this evening and has just been absolutely lights out. You know, David Tamira definitely put on a fight for him, definitely really tested him earlier in the race, but unfortunately fell out, and just, you know, the pace was not there, and then Locke just was able to pull away. This will be his third start of the season. He had a 12th place finish at each Mid-Ohio and Iowa. So this will be his first race he's actually completed on track, and he's going to have the best way to do that. Again, David Tamira in that second spot. He has amassed finishes the last a 10th, a 3rd, a 6th, a 2nd, and a 2nd, and it'll be his 3rd second place finish in a row if he can manage to keep this position. Steve Singer, again, a great comeback ride from his win penalty and his EOL, and within 5.5 seconds. So again, he is absolutely flying, but unfortunately too little too late. A little bit of a battle going on between 8th and 9th right now, but we're coming towards the end of the lap through Canada Corner for the final time. And I think now I know what's going on. Something happened to Andrew, and I'm not sure what. He hit the wall. We'll have to figure that out on replay, and he's going to be very lucky this race is over when it is, because heavy damage to that 23, but he's going to limp it around with just enough time and just enough speed to come up the hill for the final time. And Andrew Locke is going to win race 6 here at Road America. David Tamira is going to come home with his 3rd consecutive second place finish, and Steve Singer is going to round out our podium here this evening. And we're just going to go quickly and try to find what happened to Locke to cause all that damage. I'm just trying to sift through. It may take a little bit. Oh, I think I actually found it here. It was on the last lap while I was kind of looking at some other drivers. But yeah, he just got loose and into the tire barrier there at exiting turn 7. And that put him off into the kitty litter. But either way, he was able to hang on long enough and managed to put that car in victory circle here tonight. But let's go ahead and give you the final results here today from the Road America circuit. Andrew Locke with that win by 2.5 seconds over Tamira with a 2nd. Steve Singer in 3rd, Jason Duckworth in 4th, Brian Rose in 5th, Zach Millett in 6th, Vincent Short with the 7th, Mark Truxell in 8th, Brad Allison in 9th, and Jason Nethery rounds out our top 10. And then rounding out our grid here this evening, Britt Osborne in 11th, Neil Quick in 12th, Errol Lateral in 13th, Carson Conway in 14th, Kevin Blue in 15th, Cook Quick in 16th, Dakota Anderson in 17th, and then rounding out our 18-car grid, James Vance. We'll get our post-race show underway here this evening. So I'm trying to remember what camera I have set up. This one will suffice. We'll go ahead and grab our... we have our 3rd place finisher here today, Steve Singer. You get that 3rd place. You had your EOL from your win at Watkins Glen, and I'll tell you, you were absolutely flying there. I know you probably wish you didn't have that penalty, because you were turning off some flyers there. Talk about your race.
It's just a blur, man. Hauling my butt around this place. I put a ton of laps in this week. We changed the track kind of last minute. It was between here, I think VIR or Road Atlanta was kind of the 3 choices, and maybe even Chicago. But we landed on this place, and I think I put, I don't know, maybe 100 laps in just this week, trying to get a good feel for it. I knew I had to start in the back, and that was going to be an issue at a place like Road America. I was thinking as long as I could get some distance out in front of me, I could just kind of run quali laps. As long as I kept it out of the tire barrier, it was probably going to be okay.
Yeah, definitely that, and you'll get a little bit of points there on Zach, who's only able to get up to 6th here tonight. But a lot of self spins here, I noticed, particularly on corner exit. Was the back end loose for you at all tonight? You didn't seem to have any issues, but it was definitely a common theme here this evening.
To be quick at this place, you are truly on the edge of spinning out every time. It almost feels like an ARCA car at an oval. It's completely counterintuitive to what I felt at any of these other tracks. You got to push it really hard, and it is very easy to get that throttle down just a tick too soon and over-rotate it.
And luckily, you were able to take advantage of some guys that did that, gain some spots, get yourself onto the podium from the last place starting position or nearabouts there. Any shout-outs you want to give for your efforts tonight, man?
Big thanks to HBR, HBR TV, Track Bar Media, and the like, and of course you guys at PTR TV doing a great job at the broadcast.
All right, thank you for that, sir. And we'll catch you over back-to-back weeks. We'll see you next week at Sonoma.
Sounds good, Corey. Thanks.
All right, and now our second place finisher this evening, we have David Tamira, who it'll be your third second place finish in a row. I know you're very happy for that, but you had some pretty quick pace here this evening, my friend. Just talk about your race.
Yeah, thank you for everybody racing. In the front is everybody's clean. I don't know about the back. I just have to defend my position better because this is early in the race. I thought I'm gonna catch it back, Andrew, but he's good. He didn't make any mistakes, so I couldn't catch him.
Yeah, it seemed that once you lost that draft, you just weren't able to get it back. But I know next week we're racing back to back, so we're heading to Sonoma next week. What's your confidence level there to try to get another second, if not a win?
Yeah, for sure. I like Sonoma. It's my local for me, my local track. Been there, the real line.
I've been there as well. It's a gorgeous track, and you maybe have that home field advantage and can pull something out there to break this streak and get that one extra position that you need. Any shout outs or thank yous you want to give, David?
Thanks for Steve to put this one together. Thanks for you guys to put PRTV for the broadcasting. And then I just gonna shout out to my wife Rose and my daughter Cara.
All right. Well, congrats again on another great finish, my friend, and we'll catch you next week.
Thank you.
And now our winner here today, we have Andrew. You got a copy, my friend? Andrew, can you hear me okay? Gonna take that as a no, but we'll see if we can grab him one more time. Oh, I do have a message here. I missed a memo that I was supposed to talk to Andrew first. Well, I'm gonna just quickly stall here for a minute because I did not realize that I was supposed to try to talk to him first. So, well, let's see. All right, we'll try one more time. I was told he's still here, even if it's slightly inconvenient. So you got muted here, Andrew, but if you can give me you got a copy and you can pop in real quick, we'll just ask you a couple questions about your victory. All right, well, we'll kind of wrap up our final segment here, and if he does manage to pop in, we'll allow him to get a couple words in. But again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in here to PTR TV for the SCAR Radical Series. It's going to be raced here every other Sunday night, except under this specific circumstance. We will be live next week at Sonoma at this time. If you're watching the channel, make sure you like and subscribe. We'll be live tomorrow night with the SSRL Elite Cup Series at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, and of course on Thursdays for the Red Sox Racing League. So make sure you like and subscribe for that. And I'm still just trying to see if I can get a final word with Andrew. Trying to see here if we can grab him. His mic is muted, and not quite sure if we can figure something out here before we. So unfortunately, we'll go without. I think we're gonna have to wrap this up without a winner's interview. So do apologize for that. I'm gonna give him one final shot here. I know I said I'd give him a last shot a little bit ago, but I do want to give him benefit of the doubt here to try to get in. I think we're unmuted. Andrew, do you got me? And we are muted again, so unfortunately we're gonna have to probably call it on the terms that I don't think we're gonna be able to get a hold of Andrew. So apologies for that, but do offer our congratulations to Andrew Luck on a great win here today at Road America. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Like and subscribe, and have a great night, and we'll catch you next time.